Hello and welcome here. After being previewed in the 2018 film Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Miguel O'Hara, also known as Spider-Man 2099, had a significant part in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which was released on June 2, 2023, followed up with Miles Morales 16 months after he first became Spider-Man and showed the Brooklyn adolescent setting off on a multiverse journey with many interdimensional Spider people. One of these is Spider-Man 2099, a highly unique Spider-Man version from another universe who debuts as the head of the Spider Society and a rival to Miles' upbeat Spider-Man. The first time we saw Miguel O'Hara was in the post-credits sequence in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, but Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse offered him a considerably bigger role as the head of the Spider Society, a collection of spider people from other realities entrusted with preserving the multiverse's stability. Although O'Hara's beginnings as Spider-Man 2099 are only briefly referenced in Across the Spider-Verse, they significantly diverge from the standard Spider-Man history shared by many of his variations. Miguel O'Hara is a more complicated version of Spider-Man that plays a significant role in Miles Morales' plot in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. He was adapted from the Marvel 2099 brand of Marvel Comics. Let's talk about the history of Spider-Man 2099 in Marvel Comics. In 1992's Spider-Man 2099 #1, a story that takes place in 2099 on Earth 928, a different future reality from the Prime Marvel Universe, Miguel O'Hara makes his first complete Marvel Comics debut. Long after the heroic age, or the contemporary age of superheroes, ended, Miguel was born and raised in New York. Miguel was a disobedient boy, but his genius-level intellect got him accepted to the Alchemax School for Gifted Children, which was modeled like the X-Men's headquarters. Miguel developed into an egotistical and self-assured guy who finally rose to the position of director of the genetics program at Alchemax, a sizable company that has authority over regional law enforcement. Miguel, who worked for Alchemax, attempted to develop improved super warriors by encoding the genetic codes of long-dead superheroes into ordinary people. Miguel handed in his resignation to Tyler Stone, his supervisor, after a test subject named Mr. Sims tragically turned into a horrific beast and perished, but Miguel mistakenly drank a drink that Stone provided that was spiked with the extremely addictive, hallucinogenic drug Rapture. Miguel conducted his genetic test on himself in an effort to get rid of Rapture, but his supervisor tampered with the procedure, splicing Miguel's DNA with that of a spider, giving him spider-like powers similar to those of his fellow multiversal Spider-Man versions. Miguel's change, in contrast to earlier Spider-Man variations, was far more muscular, leaving him with claws on his hands and feet and fangs that resembled those of a spider. Miguel wore a garment made of UMF, the unstable molecule fabric, which his talons wouldn't rip, and a mask that he had previously worn at the Mexican Day of the Dead event in an effort to hide from Stone, who was trying to capture him. Miguel ultimately accepted his new role as Spider-Man 2099, defeating well-known villains like Net Prophet and Thanatos. Miguel decided to utilize his skills to fight the common people who have been oppressed by the mega-corporations. Let's also talk about his powers. Miguel O'Hara has several powers in common with previous Spider-Man variations, but because of his unusual origin, he has a vast range of skills that other spider people can only hope to possess. Miguel has spider-like strength, speed, agility, stamina, and reflexes since his DNA has been altered to include a spider's genetic code. This implies that he would be able to move far more quickly than the ordinary human, lift around 10 tons, and leap about 30 feet into the air. Despite having never had any official fighting instruction, Spider-Man 2099 created his own methods that let him make the most of all of his skills. In addition to having night vision and telescopic vision, Spider-Man 2099 has visual acuity that is substantially superior to that of a typical human. He also possesses a regenerative healing factor that extends his longevity by enabling his cells to continually repair themselves. This factor also enables him to recover from injuries amazingly swiftly. Miguel, unlike other spider people, possesses the capacity to telepathically interact with others, albeit its full scope has not yet been determined. The most notable modifications to his arsenal may be his poisonous fangs, venomous talons, and biological webbing, since Miguel naturally creates spider-like silk from his wrists rather than creating it like other Spider-Man variations do. Miguel, unlike other spider people, has very keen hearing and eyesight rather than a spider sense that alerts him to impending danger. Miguel's inch-long talons on his hands and feet allow him to grab walls instead of the other spider people's ability to adhere to solid surfaces. The outfit of Spider-Man 2099 is composed of UMF, an unbreakable material created by Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four. Miguel can glide with ease thanks to the web-like foil on the back of his outfit, a capability previously exhibited by Tom Holland's Peter Parker in the 2017 film Spider-Man: Homecoming. So how Spider-Man 2099 is different? While Spider-Man 2099 participated in the 2014 Spiderverse storyline from Marvel Comics and interacted with other Spider-Man variations similarly to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, his cinematic counterpart differs in a number of ways. The Spider Society's leader is portrayed as Miguel O'Hara from Across the Spider-Verse, who deals with dangers from all around the multiverse, including anomalies like the Vulture in Gwen Stacy's universe, the broken canon incident in Paviter Prabakar's reality, and the arrival of the Spot. Contrary to his comic book counterpart, Spider-Man 2099 from Across the Spider-Verse can also shoot red laser webs and travels between dimensions without glitches using a dimensional travel watch. Other facets of Spider-Man 2099's comic canon also seem to have undergone revisions to better match the character's story into the film universe. Across the Spider-Verse, for instance, alludes to Miguel's rapture past with the mysterious substance Spider-Man 2099 injects himself with, but it appears that things have changed so that the character needs a top-up dose of a serum to either keep his powers under control or keep his potentially still more present addiction at bay, a mystery that is likely set to be resolved in the third movie. The origin of Miguel, though, has likely seen the most modifications because it was in Across the Spider-Verse far more sad. Miguel was shown to have already replaced Spider-Man 2099 in another universe, giving him a family in the process. However, most of his origin story as Spider-Man 2099 is considered to be the same. He did, however, cause a number of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse canon events to break, which ultimately destroyed that universe. This transformed Miguel into a grizzled Spider-Man with a no-nonsense demeanor and a sincere commitment to preserving the universe, which puts him at odds with Miles Morales' carefree approach. So who plays Spider-Man 2099 in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse? Following his portrayal as Spider-Man 2099 in the post-credits sequence of Into the Spider-Verse, Oscar Isaac now voices Miguel O'Hara in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Isaac first came to prominence in supporting parts in Robin Hood and Drive, but he won praise for his lead performance in the musical drama Inside Llewyn Davis from 2013. He has appeared in a number of movies, including Ex Machina, Annihilation, Dune, and the Star Wars series as Poe Dameron. Isaac played En-Sabah Nur aka Apocalypse, in the Marvel adaptation X-Men Apocalypse, and he most recently joined the MCU as Mark Spector in Moon Knight. In Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is set for release in 2024, Isaac is anticipated to return as Miguel O'Hara. So how powerful is Spider-Man 2099 compared to other Spider-Man variants? Miguel O'Hara appears to have control over all the other interdimensional Spider-People as the head of the Spider Society in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, giving him additional authority over them. He also seems to know a lot more about the Spider-Verse, the specifics of canon events, and the disastrous power of interfering with the universe, making him an enemy to Miles Morales, who doesn't seem to care much about preserving reality. The more brutal mindset and range of Spider-Man 2099's powers set him apart from the other Spider-People, who may have had more traditional upbringings and origin tales. So how Spider-Man 2099's Beyond the Spider-Verse story is set up by Across the Spider-Verse. Miguel O'Hara could be viewed as a hero in Across the Spider-Verse because his main goal is to save the universe, but because of what he did to Miles Morales, he becomes yet another foe of Spider-Man on Earth 1610 due to his actions. The idea that Miguel would want to erase Miles from the picture suggests that he sees Miles as a constant disruption of canon events. This would be a significant plot point for Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, especially given that the team Miguel has put together to do this is prominently displayed in some of the sequel's final scenes. In fact, Spider-Man 2099 may pose a greater threat to Miles than ever before, and not simply because Miguel is determined to stop the youthful Spider-Man at any means, as suggested by Across the Spider-Verse. O'Hara's white Spider-Man 2099 suit, which he wears later in his comic book career, was cited being repaired at the Spider Society headquarters, implying that he may have received a power enhancement and finished restoring the white suit after his outfit malfunctioned in the sequel narrative. Miles appears to have to contend with Spider-Man 2099, who is incredibly strong, as well as the looming threat posed by the villain Spot once Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse ends. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. See you soon.